Okay, here we're back. Nothing like a nice cup of berry tea to lubricate the, very dry throat. We got a bit sidetracked there earlier on, but let's get back to the task at hand. Zahari's asked me to come and talk about this current project that I'm working on, and this is this is far from complete, but what is great is it actually shows the process of how I work in designing and conceptualizing these finished ideas for clients. And this brief for this model that I'm building, it is to design a treehouse which has the feeling of the Robinson Crusoe put it together with whatever materials that you have at hand feel. But obviously the final product cannot be that. It can only look like that, but the structural integrity and the actual finishing of the piece needs to be world-class and safe and comfortable for any level of society that wish to come and occupy this space. So the initial problem that we had with this concept was the fact that there were no trees to build a tree house in, and the land that these buildings were going to be put on, it's not exactly accessible by cranes or big lorries. So for almost a kilometer, most of the stuff needs to be carried physically and taken uphill and assembled. And forget about bringing great big welding machines up there. Forget about building all the assembly. What I'd like to do, nuts and bolts, and you carry it there, you stick into place. You've got your very manual assemblage. So it requires a little bit of planning before you actually go on location and realize that the implementation is impossible. So that happens a lot when you don't do your homework. The wood is balsa. Balsa is incredibly soft and incredibly light, but it's also very expensive to work. But I tell you what, when you can cut something easily on your mat with your Stanley blade, and it takes the pressure off your hands, your fingers, and it also encourages you to go completely crazy, because the physical challenge of constructing these models, when you do it enough times, you know that if you're using something really hard and it takes you forever to cut through one part, you start thinking 3 or 4 times before you build like little things and everything. And believe it or not, the detailing that you put into it adds to the pleasure of actually looking at your final, at your finished product. So spend the money, use the right materials, use balsa, use foam board, use thin plastic, use mounting board. But even mounting board is quite tough to cut if you're not used to just the sheer amount of things that you need to, intricate cutting. Oh man, it's a pain. But we have a limited budget. We want to create a treehouse feeling. I just looked into myself to begin with. When I close my eyes and I have a vision of what a treehouse looks like from the ground, one thing, the tree has a very solid base and it mushrooms up into a much larger overhanging living environment. To me, fundamentally, if we can create that, we create the illusion of a treehouse. The reason why you see here, when you look at it, it has a smaller base and a bigger overhang, right? is precisely for that reason. You don't see the roof yet, but if you imagine what a mushroom looks like, that roof will be the predominant feature that will come across. You will see this big roof overhanging, and the living space is actually inside. Now, I don't really care where this treehouse is built. Universally, that's the feeling you get from any treehouse from any part of the world. So, not having a tree, we create our tree base, which is the bottom there, smaller, and we create these diagonal support structures which give the larger platforms on top a bigger space. We continue the actual diagonal all the way up to the roof. So again, we're creating a nice big mass on top. The juxtaposition makes it look like it's top heavy and it's going to topple over, which again creates that risky factor for people that are not used to living in anything but a concrete floor in a, you know, like square apartment. So this concept means that I don't need to put big pillars down to support big roofs, and it's as any structural engineer will see, that it's intact, it's solid, right? But hopefully we create that illusion of it being quite frail, where it can topple over, and you know, the actual designation of space. As you can see, I've put a king size bed in the middle. I've measured the room up to be a 12 feet square, and there is a bathroom at the back of it, which has your shower cubicle and your toilet. There will be some that's the sink, the area where you actually, you know, brush your teeth and do whatever. So that bathroom's actually quite luxurious, and the bathroom is boxed off with sliding doors, either glass or mosquito net. I'm proposing mosquito net screens to create the actual environment experience. I don't know whether the clients will accept it or not, because they're quite used to being pampered and living in quite nice, comfortable, and they are of the illusion that no air conditioning, especially out in the jungle, no comfort. Okay, anyway, when we've got the actual main master bedroom on the top floor, and with its ensuite bedroom, and these balcony spaces could just be a lepak area where you can put a sofa set, you can have a little reading table, you can have even like a hanging rattan basket that you could just, it's all about ultimate relaxation. Now, downstairs is a space that has not really, I've not really even talked to you about it, because it's just a bonus having this downstairs space. So because we're doing a solid concrete structure for the bathroom upstairs, it needs to be supported by a solid concrete structure underneath. So take advantage of that, access all the plumbing into one area, so you haven't got pipes and water and drainage running all over the place. So bathroom upstairs, downstairs is a secondary bathroom. The reason being, if you have people coming over to eat or to lepak with you downstairs, you don't really want everybody going upstairs into your bedroom, using your bathroom and coming back. And it's just a little bit of I don't know how you say it, just like you want to keep your stuff separate. Downstairs, put a door in the back of that concrete block. Use the front part as a little bit of a sink, kitchen preparation area, use the back as a bathroom, and what we've come up with here is a really high-end concept for this relaxing. You can really be there with your kids, with friends that are not staying with you. You don't have to worry about it too much. You don't have to, you know, the kids can there's enough for them to do, running up and upstairs, downstairs, different areas that they could go and do separate things. We could be downstairs here with our dining tables, with whatever comfort. You don't have to go upstairs. If there are any rivers, swimming pools or whatever around and you're swimming, again, you're coming in, go straight to the bathroom, clean up, instead of having to go all the way through upstairs and down. And it built for resort living environment, which is what the clients are doing right now. I have a budget to work with, and I have a timeline to deliver this by. They seem to have approved the design concept. I built a bigger model before, and when we looked at the costing and the timeline and everything, what we suggested was to scale it down. Conceptually, it has the same flow, it has the same deliverables, it has the same feeling to it. But because budget and timeline is restricting us to be a little bit more realistic, we've scaled it down from a 20-foot room to a 12-foot room. And I don't think if you're there and living here, I don't think you will actually experience it being smaller, because the laying in the bed, keeping the windows open and the curtains open, the entire jungle is your oyster, and that is your bedroom. So yeah, anyway, Zahari, this is where we're at with this. What I'll do is, we are doing other videos which actually shows the construction and the step-by-step of perhaps not this particular model, but of all the other things. There is another model that I need to make after this, and Zahari and I will film the process step by step, which you can watch, and there will be a link probably under here to actually go to that site. So for now, thank you for watching. If you need any models making, you know where I am, and I hope you've enjoyed a very old school approach to designing and coming up with the best product that you can without, you know, without, unless your clients are really erratic, you can prepare a design concept that everybody understands exactly where they're at from step one. And this is the way to do it without having to rely on somebody else that knows how to use a 3D software. With pencil and paper, can't go wrong.